WVON, Berwyn, Chicago. It's Rufus Williams on Chicago's Essential Storyteller, WVON.
The views expressed on our programs are not necessarily those of WVON, Midway Broadcasting Corporation, or our participating sponsors.
If you're not out of the bed yet, then what are you waiting for? It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on 1690 WVON.
Every day you're walking by and I can see how you shine. Here I am alone with nothing but a dream that you are mine. Just exactly what I'll do, I don't know, baby, but I gotta find a way to reach. Tell me what I gotta do to get to your house. Tell me where I gotta go to be with you. Tell me what I gotta say to speak to your heart. Tell me what I need to know tonight.
Keep your eyes on the road and both hands on the steering wheel. We will not be held responsible for any accidents. It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
The Audio Genius.
Get in on the conversation with Rufus Williams and the Morning Show at 591-1690. We are the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Good morning, and welcome to Thursday. It's the 4th of June, the year 2026. It's the Rufus Williams Show. I am Rufus Williams, and as always, thrilled, delighted, excited to be here with you. Happy to be back in the city. Happy to be back in the studio. Glad to have you all here. I see BJ. I see Mamie, Annette, Titus. Titus, if I asked you this yesterday morning at this time, who did you have to win yesterday's game?
The San Antonio Spurs.
A lot of people did.
Oh, yeah.
They'd be wrong.
All wrong.
They'd be wrong, man. You know, this is what and I don't know, I didn't have a dog in the hunt, really. And I like the fact at the end of this, there's going to be a black coach that wins the NBA championship this year. So I'm sitting and I'm thinking, and it doesn't really matter, but man, I got to tell you, just thinking about it more, whose bench is Mo Cheek sitting on?
He's on the Knicks.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So there's a reason to grab one, and I think the Knicks have earned it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they've got some veterans there, and these veterans have an answer to a guy who's 7'6" and skinny.
See, that's what I was concerned about, but they proved me wrong last night.
Yeah, they've got an answer, because if he comes down low, now he does impact the offense. He does. But Jalen Brunson somehow gets his shots up, man. Titus, you've got to go guard him and see what it is that he's doing that's making this work, because he's making it work.
It's one of those things where it's a Chicago thing. It's one of those things when you're a point guard and you're able to create space, but work the ball around and yo-yo it around to where you get to your spot where you can take the layup and take advantage. It's one of those like quickness takes things, but it's the amount of dribbles that you take in order to get away from the defender. I mean, I've seen Derrick Rose do it, Isaiah Thomas. I mean, it's a lot of great Chicago guards, the point guards specifically, that's been able to do that. And Jalen Brunson is just one of the best at it.
Yeah, he's just unstoppable. You know, this is what you do. Play him for the shot.
Yes,
he is not passing the ball. Play him for the shot.
Yeah, you have to, because you no matter what, he's going to get to where he wants to go with the ball. So just play the shot.
Play him for the shot. So that's my advice to you folks. And that's all I got for you. But the Knicks are looking really strong.
Oh, yeah. I mean, 30 points. The bench came to play. Arturo and I were talking about that yesterday, and he asked me a question. He's like, who bench do you think better? I'm like, San Antonio. He's like, no, it's the Knicks because of the fact is they have a very deep bench, and then Josh Hart comes in, does everything. So it's like, you can't ask for more.
They got a lot coming at you.
Yeah.
They got a lot coming at you. Plus, if I cheer for the Knicks, my son and I won't be in conflict because I know that's his joint. In fact, yeah, I'm not going to be surprised when he sends me a note that tells me he's at the game. so looking forward to that. I'm afraid to ask Annette anything. Last time I asked Annette something, it was the whole show.
Oh, yeah.
it was the whole show. But I'm going to do it anyway. Annette, how you doing? Your mic is off. Your mic is off, Annette. We can't catch her.
How about this? Welcome back, Rufus.
Well, thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for being here. And here's a real thank you for real. Thank you for that awesome in-depth interview you did with Giordano's and all of those pizza pies that we got. It was like a party. So all of a sudden, somebody comes in with stacks and stacks of pies, large ones, put them in our kitchen area. And it was just a lot of fun. And because you weren't here, I was able to have my portion and your portion. So all of y'all talking about me behind my back about how many pieces of pizza I took Rufus's portion.
Look, I am so excited.
I thought it was just me that took Rufus's portion.
I am
I'm
excited for you all in the pizza. I'm glad Giordano's did it. Here's the reality, because I knew they can't deliver pizza at 7 o'clock in the morning and be fresh. It just doesn't work that way. So there's never going to be a day that I'm going to be here for the pizza because it can't get here before 11 o'clock. So I'm glad that you all enjoyed my shares. Hopefully everybody got a chance to enjoy it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't see a morsel. I don't even see a pizza box in here.
Oh, I got rid of the evidence.
Yeah, but Rufus, it was really a party because we got people from our corporate side that come. I call this the South Side. So the North Siders came over here to the South Side, and they rarely come over, but they all had pizza, and it was just really a lot of fun. And I want to tell you this. So I kind of fell off Giordano's years ago. I just didn't like it anymore, and it was just not a favorite. But I'm going to tell you, I think I'm back. They've done some things. They've changed their palette. They had this one pizza, which was a margarita pizza. It was a thin crust.
Yeah.
It was a buttery crust, and it had fresh basil on it and cheese. It was just really my palate. All I needed was a bottle of wine, and we would have been great.
What, you all didn't get the wine?
No, we didn't get the wine.
That would have made either wine or the beer, which kind of brings out the flavor in whatever this is. So.
Absolutely. So I don't know, they've done some things. And then they had a meat lovers pizza. I only could eat one slice. That's how much meat they piled up on this pizza.
Oh, it was a lot.
You all had a party here yesterday.
Oh, it was great. I mean, I tried to get the guy to take a picture with us to show proof to you that he came, and he ran out of here so fast. And then I looked at the receipt, and it was funny because guess what name was on it? Matt R. So Matt Rash, he came in. He was like, "So guys, you got me a pizza, and I didn't know I'm hard." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" So the delivery guy's name was Matt R. And I'm just like, "Oh wow, we just ran with it for the rest of the day."
That's good. That's wonderful. I am so glad to hear that. Thank you to Nick Scarpino and folks.
Shout out Nick.
Shout out Nick and
shout
folks,
out Giordano's. I think I'm coming back.
It is the only good thing about the increase in gas prices that one, you get a coupon, you get a discount on pizza at Giordano's equal to the average price of gas. And the folks at WVON got to eat yesterday.
That was a good win.
So it's all good. All good. Let's do this. Let's take a break. I've got some wonderful guests coming up next. It's Diamond Dixon. It's Billy Branch. We're talking the blues. It begins tonight, actually, at the Ramova Theater. We'll be back right after this.
More of the morning show with Rufus Williams coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This is Rufus Williams, and I've got something special for you. I am proud to announce that we're launching the Rufus Williams Travel Club in conjunction with Advantage International. Our first trip, we're staying in the United States and heading to one of the most stunning destinations for culture to cuisine. Join us October 8th through 12th as we explore the beauty and the history of Charleston, South Carolina. This isn't your typical getaway. We're walking through history and standing where our stories began. From the roots of Gullah Geechee culture to the International African American Museum. From cobblestone streets to waterfront views, this is more than a trip.
I got him.
Metro buy. To find out more, visit WVON.com and click the Rufus Williams Travel Club banner. And keep listening for more details. The Rufus Williams Travel Club will turn curiosity into understanding, one destination at a time. We are WVON.
Catch Reverend Al Sharpton online at WVON.com or on the WVON app. Just click the Al Sharpton banner. Tune in every day at 12 noon for your daily dose. And if you miss it, catch the overnight replay from midnight to 3 a.m. We're keeping it real with Al Sharpton on WVON 1690.
Reverend Al told you personally, keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it real.
Really?
Hey, Dan.
This June on Vaughn TV, the culture takes center stage. First, dive into the stories behind today's biggest names in music with a new original series, now trending hip-hop. From the lyrical mastery of Kendrick Lamar, the fearless creativity of Doechii, to the genre-bending brilliance of Doja Cat and Tyler, the Creator. Discover how these artists are shaping music, culture, and the future of hip-hop.
Chart-topping, genre-bending, culture-defining. These are the new voices, the digital poets of a generation raised on hustle, hashtags, and heartbreak. They're not waiting for a seat at the table. They're building their own. This is more than music. This is a movement. This is hip-hop.
And for music lovers who appreciate where it all began, don't miss Echoes Across the Tracks, the history of the blues. Narrated by Morgan Freeman, this powerful documentary traces the roots of the blues from the Mississippi Delta to its worldwide impact, exploring the music that helped generations endure, inspire, and overcome.
You ever go into any club and they're playing that kind of music, it's not rock and roll, it's blues. Mm-hmm. Blues rock or blues, whatever, it's got that backbeat on it.
From the roots of the blues to the future of hip-hop, it's all happening this June on Vaughn TV. Stream anytime on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and at Vaughn TV.
Hey, child.
What happens to the brain as we age? Does your brain age too? This Saturday on the Community Health Focus Hour, join host Dr. Dorian Miller for a discussion on brain health and aging. Learn what happens to the brain as we age, ways to maintain cognitive health, and practical steps to support memory and overall well-being. Get expert insights and valuable information for every stage of life. Listen live on WVON and Facebook. The Community Health Focus Hour, Saturdays at 1 p.m., powered by the Urban Health Initiative of UChicago Medicine, at the forefront.
This report is sponsored by USPS Ground Advantage. We mean business. Business moves fast when you ship with USPS Ground Advantage. You can keep up with confidence. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
WVON traffic and weather now.
We're off to a 22-minute start along the inbound Ryan from 95th Street into downtown. As you make your way along the Bishop 4, we're seeing some early morning traffic there. 18 minutes in from I-8094 to the Ryan, Tuskegee Airmen Memorial, DuSable Lakeshore Drive. Both are still pretty quiet for now. If you're on the Stevenson, you're already looking at a 50-minute trip in from I-355 to DuSable Drive 40 traveling out. The Eisenhower, heavy and slow early this morning, already an hour. In from Thorndale to the Burns Circle, that outbound trip, 50 minutes. You want to factor in an accident. Luckily, it is off to the right shoulder at North Avenue, not causing any delays. The Kennedy, off to a 50-minute start from O'Hare to downtown, getting to the airport, heavy and slow at 45 minutes. Taking a look at our weather, we're in store for halter tops and flip-flops today. Temperatures climbing near 88. Right now, we're looking at 68 at Midway. It's 68 in Rosemore and 68 degrees here in the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm NF Lernoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Keep your eyes on the road and both hands on the steering wheel. We will not be held responsible for any accidents. It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Why in my life such a crime? I only want a place to be where I can be safe, I can be me. You see, some things never change. They just seem to stay the same. Even the blind can plainly see the blues is my biography.
Welcome back. So I've got a live read to do, but I can't do it now, not after hearing that, not that from none other than my guest this morning, who is the legendary Billy Branch, joined also by Diamond Dixon. We'll tell you who they all are, but if you don't know Billy Branch, then it's a whole lot that you got to catch up on. Billy, Diamond, good morning to both of you. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having us.
Yes, doing great, considering it is in, like they say in blues terminology, in the morning.
Yeah, this is not always the time for blues, but Billy, you know, we've been talking about you coming on for the last 6 months.
Yes.
But nothing can be more appropriate than you doing it now with the beginning of the Blues Festival tonight at the Romova Theater, happening through this weekend, and certainly featuring you on Saturday. I have to ask you this, though. How can you be from LA and Chicago and be a blues man? Mississippi is supposed to be it. Explain that, please.
Well, it's an interesting story, and I don't have time to give you the full story, but I'll give you the condensed version. I was born in Chicago, moved to LA when I was about 5 years old, returned here in '69 to begin my studies at the time University of Illinois Chicago Circle campus, which I received a bachelor's in political science. But I picked up the harmonica at a young age, about 10 or 11 years old, and came here completely unaware of the blues. I mean, I was the typical youngster, about to enter at 17, typical black teenager. I didn't know anything about blues. I didn't think I liked the blues, but there was a life-changing event. And ironically, it was due to Diamond Dixon's celebrated grandfather, Willie Dixon, who produced the unofficial first Chicago Blues Festival, which took place on August 30th, 1969. This was arguably the greatest blues festival in history. I'll tell you why. Some of the performers were Bo Diddley, Junior Wells, Buddy Guy, Big Mama Thornton, Sleepy John S.C. Lightning, Hopkins, Eddie Clearwater, Mighty Joe Young, and about 20 more. And Willie Dixon provided the backup band for all of these acts. This is the first day I heard the blues. And it was a life-changing event. From then on, I was hooked. And I'll tell you how hooked I was. 7 years from that date, I became Willie Dixon's harmonica player. And Willie Dixon is, people who don't know, you could compare him. You could say he was what Berry Gordy was to Motown, Willie Dixon was to Chess Records, because he wrote and produced so many of hundreds of those great hit songs.
Yeah, and he's portrayed Cadillac Records is a portrayal of Chess Records, and I think it's okay, Diamond, come on in. Who is it who plays Willie Dixon, whose name I can't think of right now?
Cedric the
Entertainer.
Yeah, my black brother. Cedric the Entertainer plays Willie Dixon in Cadillac Records. So, Diamond, you got a bit of an introduction there as Billy told his story. You are the granddaughter of the legendary, and you're a lawyer. So, what are you doing? Were blues always in your life, or you're now running the blues revival, or what's happening?
Yes, doing so many things. And good morning to you, Mr. Williams. Thank you for having me this morning. So, I am the executive director of a nonprofit organization here in Chicago called Chicago Blues Revival. A lot of the work that we do is just centered around the adoration and respect and the work that it takes to ensure that blues stays thriving. We do a lot of that work through our education program, through direct advocacy for musicians, and also through community events in which we use blues to bring the community together. Honestly, my whole vision and purpose here is to just remind people that blues isn't just my grandfather's music. It's not just your grandfather's music. It's culturally valid. It's important part of our story, and it's the birthright of the Chicagoans here. And the work that we do here at Chicago Blues Revival is all fueled by the motivation to have people to understand the cultural competency of the blues today.
Look, I think it was Albert King who said it, and it's been repeated a lot. If you can't dig the blues, you got a hole in your soul, which
Absolutely.
becomes also one of the records that happens to be on Billy Branch's new CD, which is just an amazing. I mean, we played the first song. Billy, talk to us. You know what? It's break time. When we come back, I want you to talk to us about this new musicology that you put out, because it really does tell a big story, given even what the title is in the first song that we played. We're talking with the legendary Billy Branch and the daughter of the legend, granddaughter of the legend, Diamond Dixon, talking about the blues. We'll be back right after this.
We're in store for a summer-like day as temperatures climb well into the 80s. 88 is our official high. Good morning. I'm in Illinois, and here's what's happening.
Today, I'm officially launching my campaign to be the next mayor of Chicago, your mayor of Chicago.
There you have it. It's official. Susanna Mendoza says she's running for mayor of Chicago. The Illinois comptroller made the announcement in a video shared on YouTube yesterday. And she held a news conference later yesterday at a Mexican restaurant in Little Village.
No more empty promises. No more excuses. It's time for Chicago to make real progress. It's time for Chicagoans to feel safer. It's time to make Chicago more affordable. It's time for us to have a mayor and a city hall that provides the competence, the leadership, and the results that this amazing city deserves. It's time.
Mendoza says that she's she's been a state representative and has served as Chicago city clerk. This is her second go round for the top spot at City Hall. Back in 2019, she ran for mayor and came in fifth. Well, a Walgreens in Chatham is closing its doors for good today. Alderman Will Hall of the 6th Ward calls it corporate abandonment and is set to hold a news conference outside the store at 86 and Cottage Grove later today. He'll be joined by community leaders and residents. Now, he's concerned that the closing will leave the neighborhood without a pharmacy, especially impacting seniors who need regular medications. The Deerfield-based company has said their decision to close that location was based partly on a high level of theft and violence compared to other areas. The company says prescriptions will be sent to the next closest Walgreens on 87th and Stony Island. Well, with just over 2 weeks to opening day, we're getting a sneak peek into the Obama Presidential Center. WVON's Candace McCollum has more.
Michael Strautmanis, one of the top leaders from the museum, speaks on how he believes the campus will impact the Chicago culture.
It's going to be this new part of the Chicago idea, the Chicago skyline. People are going to come here now. They're going to, sports, theater, good food, and the Obama Center.
The grand opening weekend will take place June 19th through the 21st. Programming includes live performances, family-friendly activities, food, art, and storytelling across the campus. The grand opening ceremony will be live streamed globally. I'm Candace McCollum, and that's what's happening in our news now on WVON 1690.
That's a look at our news now on 1690 WVON. Traffic and weather up next. WVON News Time, 7:33.
This Juneteenth, the Obama Presidential Center opens to the world on Chicago's South Side. The ancestors are proud. We're WVON.
Hey, it's Matt McGill, and the countdown is on to the largest blues festival in America, the Chicago Blues Fest in Millennium Park, Friday, June 5th through the 7th. We're celebrating 55 years of Alligator Records with tributes to Coco Taylor, Lonnie Brooks, Hound Dog Taylor, and Chris Stone Kingfish Ingram. We're celebrating Chicago-style blues with Chicago's own living legend, Billy Branch, Kenny Neal, and Ronnie Baker Brooks. And we'll close out the weekend with a special tribute to Women in Blues featuring Lynn Jordan and the Shivers, and an outstanding performance by the legendary Taj Mahal and the Phantom Blues Band. While you're there, stop by WVON's Juke Joint and meet your favorite WVON personalities. It's 3 days of good blues in Millennium Park. For more info, visit WVON.com/events. Brought to you by Mayor Brandon Johnson and D-Case.
It's D.L. Hughley.
When you see things like what happened in Virginia, where they had a special election and expanded seats for the Democrats, Republicans have been putting their fingers on the scale of the elections forever. They've always done it. They've always gerrymandered. But now they have gerrymandered everything to the nth degree that they don't have any more room to gerrymander. And now these Democrats have picked up 10 to 12 seats. Even after this is all over, we got to get back to people who are involved in the pedophile ring. We got to get back to ICE brutalizing people. So the war is a distraction, but from some pretty horrible that we got to get back to.
Weekdays at 5 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Yo, fellas, when was the last time you checked in with you? We're bringing the barbershop talk to the airwaves. It's time to get real about our wellness, identity, and what it means to feel good from the inside out. The Grooming Room is back, a no-fluff radio series made for the fellas, by the fellas. We're talking health, hustle, healing, and everything in between. No filters, no judgment. Real conversations that hit home, whether you're grinding, growing, or just trying to figure it all out. This space is for you. Listen weekly on Thursdays from June 4th to June 26th. It will be hosted by Matt McGill, Atiba Buchanan, and Rufus Williams. Only on the station that brings you what's now and what's next. 1690 WVON, the Grooming Room, where the real ones pull up.
Hey, it's Cleopatra Draper. Join me for the Midday Show weekdays at 9 a.m., where we'll sip and spill all the tea. Do you want it hot or cold? Either way, we're serving up the flavor of the day. Weekdays at 9 a.m. right here on the station giving you what's now and what's next. 1690 WVON.
Hey everybody, this is Kendall Moore, the Kendall Moore Show, getting you from your work week to your weekend each and every Friday night from 6 until 9 p.m. I get you from your work week to your weekend. Church. Tabernacle.
Kendall Moore, radio for the next generation on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM, WVON.
This report is brought to you by ComEd, powering lives. Here's a great savings idea. Did you know you've got the power to manage your energy? Yep, from usage alerts to energy saving programs and more. ComEd has all kinds of ideas to help you gain control over your energy saving costs. Find out more at ComEd.com/energy savings.
WVON, traffic and weather now.
We're going to start this break on the Eisenhower. Lots going on there. You're already looking at an hour in from Thorndale to the Burns Circle. That outbound trip really much creeping close to an hour. That's due to an accident. They're still in play at North Avenue. Also, the entrance ramp on the North Manheim Road there has been shut down. That's due to an overturned dump truck there. Apparently, there's some fuel that has spilled on the roadways there. We're looking at hazmat on their way for cleanup. Taking a look at what's happening along the Ryan, still just about a 22-minute trip from 95th Street into downtown. Outbound, we're seeing a new crash. It's off to the shoulder, though, at 95th, not affecting your traffic light going out. If you're on the Bishop Ford, you're now looking at almost 20 minutes from I-80-94 to the Ryan, Tuskegee Airmen Memorial, DuSable Lakeshore Drive post still look good for now. The Stevenson pretty heavy, just bumped up to 51 minutes from I-355 to DuSable Drive outbound 40. And the Kennedy, a 45-minute trip from O'Hare to downtown, getting to the airport just bumped up to 47 minutes. Taking a look at our weather, shaping up to be a summer-like day in Chicago as temperatures climb well into the 80s. We're looking at a daytime high of around 88 with the possibility of coming close to 90. Right now, we're looking at 68 degrees at Midway, it's 68 in Rosemore, and 68 here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flanoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
If you're not out of the bed yet, then what are you waiting for? It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on 1690 WVON.
Your real good friends will stab you in the back. You better watch what you're doing and never cut them no slack. My best friend came to my house every day. My best friend came over to my house every day. Said he was checking on my wife while I was gone away.
Welcome back. We are honored this morning to talk to Diamond Dixon, to talk to Billy Branch as the Blues Fest kicks off with WVON right there in place. Saturday night, look, be there every night because it's truly remarkable, but especially Saturday night. Saturday night, 75 years of Billy Branch with Kenny Neal and Ronnie Baker Brooks. Billy Branch, what's that going to be like?
Well, it's a celebration, and I'm honored that the city is honoring me. As you said, man upstairs willing, I will be 75 this year on October 3rd, and also celebrating 50 years of my band, the Sons of Blues, and joined by special guest Ronnie Baker Brooks, whose father was the legendary Lonnie Brooks. And Ronnie is swiftly approaching legendary status himself. He's one of the great guitarists. He and I have collaborated many, many times over the years. I call him my baby brother. He also co-wrote one of the centerpiece songs on the new album, Begging for Change. And then Kenny Neal comes from a lineage blues royalty. His father was Rayful Neal, a very well-known harmonica player and vocalist. And it's something about the Neal family, even to the second, third, and fourth generations. They come out singing and playing. If they got last name Neal, I mean, great grandkids, man, they are just awesome. So Kenny and I go way back. We've collabed. We had a award-winning album called Double Take some years back, and it's going to be a celebration and a party. And we've got the Bill McFarlane horns. We've got background singers May Cohen, Diane Madison. We've got, of course, my band, the Sons of Blues, and we're going to close with a 10-piece youth choir from Garfield Park Conservatory.
That is so fantastic. I have to ask you, because this last album of yours, do we call them albums? Do we call them CDs? What do we call it? What do we call them now?
Albums good.
Okay.
See, records. I hear records a lot still.
Yeah, because we do have it on vinyl and CD.
Oh, well, then you got to get it. I got to get it on vinyl.
And live
Absolutely.
This last album, and listening to it, looking at it, it feels like it's a current rendition of Marvin Gaye's "What's Going On." You get into a lot of things in this album. Talk to us about the construction of it, why you did it, and why is that good music for right now?
Thank you for saying that, Rufus, because that had been an ideal of mine. I always wanted an album because Marvin Gaye's what's going on, all the songs segue and they tell a story. I didn't know if I achieved that, but you saying that lets me know that at least I got close. And this is my most personal effort to date. We feel like it's my finest work to date. Have about 15 albums of my own, but my harmonica work appears somewhere between 200 and 300 different recordings. This one was a work in progress that took a long time. I gave it a lot of thought. I didn't want to just do what you call a so-called typical blues album. There's a lot of different elements. I've got a reggae song, the Ballad of the Million Man March, for social commentary. Number one, of course, the title song, The Blues is My Biography, because that speaks to all African Americans as well as many people around the globe. You know, the blues is universal. I think that's why so many people are drawn to it, because everyone has it. You can't say I got the jazz, I got the rock and roll, but everybody gets the blues. And I've got How You Livin', which is kind of like, could best be described as a hip hop blues. And I just feel very proud of this effort. I teamed up with a great producer out of the Bay Area, Larry Batiste. He comes from the 70s, 80s R&B world. And it was like a marriage made in heaven. He and I worked so well together. We cut 4 of the 11 tracks in the Bay Area with his crew and 7 with my band, the Sons of Blues, here in Chicago. So we feel really good about it, and we hope that it can make some noise and maybe even get us a Grammy.
I hope so. You know, I was playing it in this morning and that said, what are you doing? You got the blues? I'm like, I'm getting ready for Billy Branch. He's coming on. This is good stuff. Diamond, I have to ask you, because I know what you're doing is truly to ensure that the blues stays alive here. How are we doing? I mean, it feels like it clearly has made it's clearly engaged in the communities that are not ours. Are we still holding on to the blues and the music as we should be, being the creators of it?
What a great question. And absolutely. The one thing that I want to note, like even with the, recent, I guess, reintroduction or re-emergence of interest in blues in our community, I think came a little bit with the movie Sinners. And so because of that, there has been, this kind of resurgence in the interest of blues, and specifically in our communities. But what that proved is basically what we here in Chicago already knew, that the blues is alive and well and thriving. There are so many young musicians that are up and coming now that are culture carriers and carrying that torch, through kind of that intergenerational space. You have the Kingfishes of the world. There's another young man. His name is Harrell Davenport, a 19-year-old from Mississippi who is phenomenal. He actually will be sitting with me this weekend on Saturday at Blues Fest. I'll be interviewing him about his kind of emergence into the blues space, and how him being a young person, being introduced to blues as a young person, how that has formed the trajectory of what he wants to do with his life. So, here in the community, we've always believed that blues's rich heritage was valid. And I think now we have a new interest in that, just based on this new kind of popularity of the blues. But blues doesn't need our help being alive. It already is. We're here just to support it and to watch it thrive and do whatever we can to ensure that its validity is adored like it should be.
Yeah, we don't miss it at all here at WVON. The fact that Purvis Spann, Melody Spann's dad, was Purvis Spann, the blues man. It was all about our origins and all that comes through that. And I mentioned one of the sayings earlier, but everybody does, in fact, have the blues. I mean, it's so much that comes through the lyrics and so much that comes through the feeling. And last year was the first time I really did attend the Blues Fest. And I love the Jazz Fest, except it coincides with my wedding anniversary, so I'm usually out of town. But sitting there through the Blues Fest last year felt so good. I mean, it was so enjoyable, so much. I mean, I was looking forward to it this year, so I can't wait to be out there with you on Saturday night. And now that I know you're going to be doing an interview as well, it's going to be great. So folks who haven't gone out, go. It really is a wonderful, wonderful experience. We're talking here this morning with Diamond Dixon. We're talking with Billy Branch. We'll have more with him when we come back. But before we go, I have to remind all nonprofit leaders, last year, there's what they call the big beautiful bill, which we know is the big ugly bill. And it's just the big bill that had a significant impact on so many things, particularly not-for-profits. You don't want to miss Big Bill, Big Impact. It's a free Meeting the Moment webinar. It's happening on Wednesday, the 10th of June from 11 a.m. to noon. They'll be discussing funding priorities, communication strategies, all these things that help nonprofits avoid service disruption. You can register now at eventbrite.com. Meeting the Moment. Meeting the Moment is powered by the Chicago Community Trust. We'll be back more with Billy Branch and Diamond Dixon right after this.
More of the morning show with Rufus Williams coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This summer, we're taking our streets back with peace. The faith community of St. Sabina is calling on the entire city to stand together for the Summer Peace Takeover Friday, June 5th at 7 p.m. Join thousands of Chicagoans for a powerful rally and march for peace featuring special guest, Chicago's own Chance the Rapper. Meet us at St. Sabina, 1210 West 78th Place, as communities from across the city come together with one message. Enough is enough. Let's uplift our neighborhoods, empower our youth, and show the nation what unity in Chicago looks like. The first 1,000 people will receive free t-shirts. So bring your family, friends, church groups, and neighbors. This isn't just a march, it's a movement. The Summer Peace Takeover, Friday, June 5th at St. Sabina. Peace starts with us. Chicago, be there.
It's Gospel with Pam Morris Walton, your gospel sister, on WVON Sundays, 11 to 2 p.m. Music to help you on your journey. I'll see you there, WVON.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? During the Xfinity Summer Savings Event, now through June 15th, new customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi, just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, add one line of Xfinity Mobile Select and you can save an average of $60 a month over Verizon and AT&T. You can even try it free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Savings based on 1 gig internet and 1 mobile select line compared to similar Verizon and AT&T plans over 5 years. After 12 months, regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
Tuned in to your favorite WVON personalities on Facebook Live? Don't just watch, like it, love it, share it. Every click helps us grow the conversation and keep the community strong. So remember, like it, love it, share it, Chicago.
Early detection saves lives. Routine screenings and regular doctor visits can help identify serious health concerns before symptoms even begin. And that's your Healthy Reminder.
This Healthy Reminder is sponsored in part by U Chicago Medicine.
It's Matt McGill.
I'm not the heir of billions of dollars. I'm a working class brother that was teaching middle school a handful of years ago. The real struggle that I experienced, the governor and I had different upbringing. He doesn't know what it's like to open up a refrigerator, ain't no food in it. And so my motivation to make sure that a corporation keeps jobs in Chicago is so that families don't have to struggle like my family did. And so, yes, that's going to come across at times probably a little bit more provocative because what's at stake for him is what's at stake for me. It's just not.
Weekdays at noon on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This report is brought to you by Dell Technologies. Interruptions will always come up at work, but with built-in intelligence and optimized battery, the Dell Pro laptop powered by Intel Core Ultra with vPro is built for those who stay in the flow. Built for you. Dell.com/Dell Pro.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Things are beginning to pick up along DuSable Lakeshore Drive. That trip from 67th Street to Jackson, now 18 minutes with a slowdown just before Soldier Field. Hollywood to Monroe, 17 minutes right now. If you're on the Ryan, expect a 30-minute trip from 95th Street into downtown. On the outbound side, that accident at 95th Street still in play, not affecting any travel time, traffic light traveling out. If you're on the Bishop Ford, you're now looking at 17 minutes from I-8094 to the Ryan. Tuskegee Airmen Memorial still moving along at the posted speed. No changes on the Stevenson, still heavy and slow at 51 minutes from I-355 to DuSable Drive 40 traveling out. The Eisenhower now just shy of an hour from Thorndale to the Burns Circle. That outbound trip still just about 52 minutes. And the inbound side of the Kennedy from O'Hare to downtown, a 45-minute trip. Getting to the airport, heavy and slow at 47 minutes. Taking a look at our weather, we're in store for a summer-like day. We're looking at halter tops and flip-flops. Temperatures climbing pretty close to 90. 88 is our official high. 60 our low tonight. Right now it's 68 at Midway, 68 in Washington Park, and 68 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm in Flanoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Keep your eyes on the road and both hands on the steering wheel. We will not be held responsible for any accidents. It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
On the corner, ask for something to eat. I look down and I see he's got no shoes on his feet. He says, "Oh, my kids are hungry. My rent is past due. Brother, can I get a little change from you?" Begging for change, begging for change. The whole world's begging for change. Begging for change, begging for change. The whole world's begging for change. The working class needed a raise, 'cause they can't make it on minimum wage. Politicians keeping a seat occupied. Rich getting richer while the poor is denied.
Welcome back. Yes, that is also from the new album by Billy Branch. It's really telling the story, and actually, if you listen to it, he's telling you why folks got the blues, because it's real and it's serious and it's intense. I'll tell you all, before today is over, I'm going to give away some tickets to sit in the reserved seating at the Blues Fest, so stay tuned for that. And if you heard Annette tell you traffic's bad, you might want to use Metro to get down to the Blues Fest. You might want to use Metro to get to wherever you're going. It took me an hour and something to get from the airport last night. Fortunately, I was in the back of an Uber because Metro doesn't get to my house. But man, I was staying the whole time. That's an idea right now. So 95% on time rate means you're going to get there on time. It'll cost you $2. You don't have to bother with parking. You don't have to bother with people. Take Metro. Save time. Get there. Billy Branch, William Earl Branch. I got a cousin named William Earl. We call him the whole William Earl, the whole thing. So William Earl Branch, why harmonica? How did that start, and why did you stick with it?
Well, again, just destiny. The way I look at it. Walked into a Woolworths about age 10. Looked into the glass display case, saw a harmonica. Never heard or saw anyone play one, but a little voice told me that I could play it. I asked the clerk how much it was. He said $1. I had $1. I purchased it, opened the box, put it in my mouth, and immediately I could play any Christmas carol or folk melody children's song I could think of. As it turns out, my great-grandfather was a harmonica, played harmonica, and I think my grandfather on my father's side as well. So it was in the blood. And I kept that harmonica all the way till I returned to Chicago to go to UICC Circle Campus. And, you know, at that time, the blues was everywhere on the South and West sides. You know, Teresa's Lounge, which we're going to celebrate, by the way, today at the Ramova Theater. I'll be joining John Primer, celebration legendary, iconic Teresa's Lounge. There was the Checkerboard, there was Peppers, there was the Queen Bee. You know, the blues was all over the South Side. And I'm proud to say I kept a footprint on the South Side for over 4 decades. Last club we had a residency was Artists' Lounge on 87th and Kimbark, where I played every Monday with my band for 27 years.
I have to tell you, there's some things that happen here in Chicago that we take for granted and we shouldn't. And so to be able to listen to you as we do, to be able to talk to you, to see you as we do is really an honor. And it's such an honor to have you here. And
Well,
Diamond, on that same note, what's it like to be the granddaughter of someone so special as Willie Dixon? How do you carry that load around with you?
You know what? It's actually very unique. One interesting point about that is that, you know, unfortunately, I didn't really grow up around him. I was raised by my mom's parents. My father, who passed away a couple years ago, was his first son. And so I have actually been learning about him through folks like Mr. Branch over the last 20 years. And there has never been a time where I just haven't been so enamored or proud or surprised or, you know, just learning about him constantly. And I think too, just because of that genetic makeup and that component of me that's so special and so important, it's fueled a lot of my motivation behind the work that I'm doing, because it's so important for voices like my grandfathers or like Mr. Branch's to continue to have the support necessary to you know, continue to educate and to validate this culture. So it's pretty special.
Legacy, there's nothing like it. Thank you so much for what you do to keep it alive. And Billy Branch, thank you so much for all that you do. It's wonderful to see you. Look forward to being out there with you on Saturday night. And somewhere along the way, I got to get back over to Irv's and get a really cool hat.
Okay, do you see him this morning?
Already this morning.
I'm saying.
Shameless plug, but my good friend Graham Tom, this is an Optimo, and I get all my hats Optimo. But thank you so much for having us both, Rufus. And we just want to encourage everyone to support the blues. Come out to the Chicago Blues Festival, the largest free festival in the world. You'll see amazing talent from old veterans like me to the youth. We got a youth stage. She mentioned Rail Davenport, who I have a hand in mentoring, who's phenomenal, but there's a lot. We're encouraged by the entrance, the advent of a lot of these young African-American, highly skilled and highly knowledgeable performers.
Absolutely.
Look, Billy, you carry 74 years well, so keep it going and keep playing. Thank you both again for what you do. Thanks for being with us this morning.
Thank you so much for having us.
All right, be well. Let's find out from Annette what's going on in the headlines and what's in Black Information News. When we come back, we kick off the Grooming Room. I'll be joined by Diamond McNulty, Dr. Joy Reid, and OG Mr. Rick. We'll be back right after this.
Thank you.
It's going to feel like summer today as temperatures climb into the upper 80s on this Thursday, June 4th, 2026. I'm Annette Flournoy, into the headlines as expected. A Walgreens in Chatham is closing its doors for good today. And a Chicago alderman calls it corporate abandonment and is set to hold a news conference later outside the store at 86 in Cottage Grove. And Bears quarterback Caleb Williams is now a cover page model. He now graces the cover of this year's Madden NFL video game, showing off a jump throw in front of the Chicago skyline. National news from the Black Information Network is next on the iHeartRadio app and 1690 AM WVON Berwyn, Chicago. It's 8:03.
Meals from those years are hard to forget. It was all white bread and whole milk, hamburger casseroles and quiche Lorraine's, all with a side of cigarettes. We ate salads as desserts, We knew a party was classy if it had a cheese log, and we never missed an after-dinner smoke. It didn't matter if we were in our dining rooms, a burger joint, or the ritziest of restaurants. There'd be an ashtray on every table, and that very particular flavor in every meal. We smoked for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's amazing that our food could taste like anything else. If that was you then, get your lungs screened now. Surviving lung cancer starts with a scan. Learn more at screenyourlungs.org. This PSA was made possible by industry funding and guidance from lung cancer patient groups.
Don't act like that. Don't wear that. Don't think that. I've heard everything you tell yourself every time you felt different. And I want you to know that taking care of your mind is taking care of everyone you love and who loves you. That you can be vulnerable and powerful. That you can be more connected and resilient. That taking care of me makes us stronger. Love your mind. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org.
Children need healthy habits too. Encourage more water, outdoor play, and less screen time for the whole family.
Your health, our community, we're WVON.
This report is sponsored to you by True Green. True Green, don't waste another weekend doing your lawn. Care yourself. Partner with the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour and get golf course quality lawn the easy way. Sign up at truegreen.com, then sit back and relax.
It's D.L. Hughley.
When you see things like what happened in Virginia, where they had a special election and expanded seats for the Democrats, Republicans have been putting their fingers on the scale of the elections forever. They've always done it. They'd always gerrymandered. But now they have gerrymandered everything to the nth degree that they don't have any more room to gerrymander. And now these Democrats have picked up 10 to 12 seats. Even after this is all over, we got to get back to people who are involved in the pedophile ring. We got to get back to ICE brutalizing people. So the war is a distraction, but from some pretty horrible that we got to get back to.
Weekdays at 5 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
When you see flashing lights on the roadside, it's the law to slow down and move over. Your first move is to ease up on your speed and safely change lanes when possible. Flashing lights are emergency responders, law enforcement, road crews, and even drivers who may be stopped on the roadside, working or waiting for help. Protect everyone on the road, including drivers like you. Move over. It's the law. It's not a game.
Hey, Alexa, play WVON 1690 AM.
Getting WVON 1690 AM station from iHeartRadio.
Try it out for yourself. America is listening to WVON.
CTA is coming to WVON. Sundays, 7 p.m., not the train. Call to action with your host, Randria. When life has you at a stop, he'll pick you up and help you find out where you're going and the best connections to get you there. Take the ride every Sunday at 7 p.m. with your host, Randria. The next stop might be yours.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Wish you could save on home insurance? With Allstate, you could easily save and get quality protection. Yep, it's a win-win. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Things are beginning to pick up along the Bishop Ford. You're looking at a 20-minute trip from I-80-94 to the Ryan Tuskegee Airmen Memorial, now 17 minutes in from I-80. Once arriving at the Ryan, you'll need another 30 minutes from 95th Street to downtown. If you're on DuSable Lakeshore Drive, you're looking at just about a 18-minute trip still from 67th Street to Jackson, with a slowdown just before Soldier Field. Hollywood to Monroe, now 18 minutes as well. The inbound side of the Stevenson, steady at a 51-minute trip from I-355 to DuSable Drive 40 traveling out. The Eisenhower just shy of an hour still from Thorndale to the Burn Circle. That outbound trip now 55 minutes. The Kennedy steady at a 45-minute trip in from O'Hare to downtown, getting to the airport now just shy of 50 minutes. As you taking a look at our weather right now, we're in store for a very warm day, flirting with 90. We're looking at a daytime high of 88, a low tonight of 60. We're up to 72 at Midway. It's 72 in Morgan Park and 72 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
At WVON, we are black and proud and black in pride.
Live from the Xfinity Studios, it's the station that America listens to. WVON, Berwyn, Chicago. It's Rufus Williams on Chicago's essential storyteller, WVON.
You wonder how I do it. It's just one simple rule. I'm just cool. Honey, baby, can't you see? Girl, I'm so cool. Ain't nobody bad like me. Hey. R-U-F-U-S. Well, then still. R-U-F-U-S. I'm just cool. Honey, baby, can't you see? Girl, I'm so cool. Ain't nobody bad like me. Sing it, baby. R-U-F-U-S. What's that stand? R-U-F-U-S. That felt cool. The audio genius. The audio genius. The audio genius.
Welcome back. I am honored to have in the studio with me this morning these three fabulous gentlemen. We kick off what is now known as the Grooming Room, which is a take on the barbershop and how we go there to really get spruced up and to have some really amazing conversations that take place in the barbershop. I'd go in and all you have to do is throw out a question and just sit back and watch everything happen. But these are really, really focused and certainly trying to get to some places that can help us as we move as a people, as we move as a society, and certainly as we move as men. Got wonderful guests, as I mentioned earlier. So it's really interesting to hear my song come on because R-U-F-U-S, that spells cool, except I just may be outdone this morning because the OG is in the house. The OG, Mr. Rick, who you hear on WVON Thursday evenings?
Thursday night, exact from 10 to 12.
Tonight from 10 to 12. So OG, Mr. Rick, I just kind of introduced you, but introduce yourself to
Well, I am OG Mr. Rick, and I'm here on the radios on Thursday nights from 10 to 12. I'm all over social media. My podcast is a history of Black people in America, talking about how we had to defend ourselves in a time that we were defenseless.
So tell us who you are and how you come to be the person who knows all this stuff.
Well, I'm a ghetto child that grew up in Chicago, on Chicago's west side, who was stricken by all of the negative aspects that they brought in our community. One of the people that I ended up going to prison in my life, I was a drug addict, the whole 9 yards. I experienced it all. And I also was in the environment of what they call gangs, but then it was organizations. and I experienced the Black Power movement, the whole 9 yards. It took me some time to digest it so that I could make sense out of it. And when I did, when I became mature enough to understand what the world really was, then I knew I had a responsibility to correct some things, at least to participate.
Appreciate that. Where on the West Side were you, and what high school did you go to?
I went to Risen Orr. I grew up most of my life on Chicago Avenue in Central Park area. So I started off on, as a kid, 13th and Lawndale. I went to school at Jenner in the Cabrini Green. That's where I started school at. So all over the West Side, you know, because my parents weren't as stable as most parents. So we moved a lot. But my longest stay was Chicago Avenue.
Fantastic. OJ, Mr. Rick, you would know this, but you know who else graduated from Orr High School?
Who's that?
Present Company. I did.
Wow.
It's a small world after all.
Very small.
So yeah, every
world,
place
brother.
except Cabrini Greens, we've got some stories to tell that are connected
yes, sir.
in
Yes, sir.
so many ways. Introduce yourself, please, sir.
Hi, my name is Dr. Reed. I'm a psychiatrist, and hey, thank you for inviting me on your show. You know, it's really an honor here. WVON is amazing. You know, I remember as a child listening to the radio show, so there's a lot of history here. I'm so glad to be here for the first time. So thank you so much for inviting me.
No, good to have you. You're a psychiatrist. Tell us more about.
So I
you do
grew up
there.
in Chicago. I grew up in DCFS in Chicago, you know, so I grew up on the South Side. I started in Roseland. Right. That's where my grandparents were originally. Then entered DCFS at Roseland. So then I lived in various foster homes throughout mainly the South Side of Chicago. So
Right.
I got a chance to experience the whole city growing up. You know, I was a street kid. Right. My family was more into gangs and drugs and things like that. So we had a lot of mental illness in the family, you know, a lot of family members in the prison industrial complex. So I've been on the South Side working as a psychiatrist for 21 years. I have a huge patient population.
Wow.
I mean, this is the best patient population to learn and to work in. So it's very rewarding to provide these type of services on the South Side of Chicago.
Great. And you went to high school where?
Hirsch High School.
Hirsch.
Yeah, Hirsch High School.
Stories about Hirsch too, when they tried to turn our bus over because Orr beat them by 40 points. Real
That's
story.
not when I was the quarterback.
That's a basketball. This is maybe football scores. It was basketball. But it was okay. They came back and beat us by 40 points the next year. And we did not try to turn over your bus. We're more cultural on the West Side, OG. Mr. McNulty, talk about it.
Diamond McNulty, as we mentioned, I was actually born in Cabrini Green.
So
I came up near North Side. I went to CVS High School. I took up culinary arts in my early years, right? I'm still young. However, went from there to the Peninsula Hotel downtown, 5-star, 5 diamond. So, but I was also at the same time in pairing with the Chicago Youth Program, which is now I'm the president of. So what I love to think about when it comes to coming from the projects to actually, as I mentioned, chef by trade, author of 24 books. I have 4 ex-founder. So I've developed multiple companies in 2 different lanes, 1 culinary and 2 success. I love to teach kids how to eat healthy, how to cook. So I have a team of chefs inside schools that teach kids how to cook. And then all of my books geared towards success to help them create their personal success plan. So it's just an exciting time to be here, to have this conversation, because it's important for us to not only have these ideas of what our youth should be, but actually give them the tools and the resources to actually do the thing. So that's why I have that book, How to Become a Successful Young Man, and Success Recovery for the older men who we will be talking about today.
You're busy.
Working.
At least.
Putting in the work.
It's very impressive to
Putting in
what
the
you're
work.
saying. What you're saying is very impressive.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Titus, I guess I'm supposed to take a break. Okay, let's do it now. We'll be back more with these wonderful gentlemen. We'll get into the conversation about masculinity, what it means, and how it impacts our mental health when we come back right after this.
More of the morning show with Rufus Williams coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This Saturday on Meeting the Moment, we're exploring leadership, presence, and voice. What makes a leader's voice credible when it matters most? This week, Iona Calhoun-Batiste of the Chicago Community Trust and Norman Clark of Chicago African Americans in Philanthropy join me to discuss what makes leadership communication effective and why credibility is earned long before a leader ever speaks. Tune in this Saturday at 12 noon for Meeting the Moment, powered by the Chicago Community Trust, right here on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Tuned in to your favorite WVON personalities on Facebook Live? Don't just watch, like it, love it, share it. Every click helps us grow the conversation and keep the community strong. So remember, like it, love it, share it, Chicago.
Can you feel it? The soundtrack of our lives. A Ravinia Black Music Month feature showcasing music that makes us think, love, cry, feel, act, and move. Music that reflects our stories. Can you feel it? The soundtrack of our lives.
Roberta Flack, first time ever I saw your face. First time
ever I saw your face. I thought the sun rose in your eyes.
Ravinia, celebrating Black Music Month. Experience the transformative power of live music. Get tickets at ravinia.org.
That's the sound of the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program, saving you money and energy. With rebates on Energy Star appliances, so you can come back to a home full of savings. Discover more ways to save at ComEd.com/home savings. ComEd, powering lives.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou, a term provider, 800-345-2789. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems. And if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-345-2789. That's 800-345-2789 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-345-2789.
Are you ready? Not just to do hair, but to build a real beauty business.
If you're a stylist, a barber, or a beauty professional, this show is for you.
I'm Nidra Williams of Solo Beauty Supply.
I'm Dr. Lekashan, trichologist and salon owner.
Breaking down real strategy, real growth, and what it takes to win in this industry.
Tap in, lean in, and level up.
The Hair Salon Tour Show, where beauty professionals become business powerhouses. Join us Saturday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m.
Where beauty professionals become business powerhouses. WVON 1690.
This report is brought to you by Aleve. At some point, body pain may creep in and become your reality that day. But Aleve is here to help you keep moving. One pill gives you up to 12 hours of body pain relief. So don't let pain hold you back. Try Aleve today. Use as directed.
WVON traffic and weather now.
That inbound trip along the Ryan still just about 30 minutes from 95th Street into downtown. Getting to the Ryan along the Bishop 4 still just about 17 minutes in from I-8094. Tuskegee Airmen Memorial, pretty much the same, a 17-minute trip in from I-80. DuSable Lakeshore Drive, 67th Street to Jackson, no major changes there, still just about 18 minutes. We're at the slowdown just before Soldier Field. Hollywood to Monroe, 17. If you're on the Stevenson, you're still looking at right around 50 minutes from I-355 to DuSable Drive 40 traveling out. A lot going on along the Eisenhower this morning. You do want to look out for an accident inbound. It's on the right shoulder at Central. Another crash is on the exit ramp there at Independence. Your complete travel time from Thorndale to the Burns Circle, 55 minutes outbound, almost 55 as well. The Kennedy still moving along at a 45-minute pace from O'Hare to downtown, just about 45 getting to the airport as well. Taking a look at our weather, shaping up to be almost a summer-like day as temperatures flirt with 90. We're looking at a daytime high of around 88. We're up to 74 at Midway, is 74 in Riverdale, and 74 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm in Illinois on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
If you're not out of the bed yet, then what are you waiting for? It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on 1690 WVON.
Brothers gonna work it out. 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 Y'all get it out. Now don't give him no peace if you don't mean it from your heart. United, we can get on. Yes, we're still alone.
Welcome back. We're talking this morning. It's the grooming room, phrase that helps us to get our lives together and really working to get men's lives together. We're joined this morning by Diamond McNulty, Dr. Joy Reid, and OG Mr. Rick. I want to begin with this question. And I'll begin with you, Doc.
Sure.
What does masculinity mean to you in a modern context?
What does masculinity mean to me? Let me see if I can explain this. I think the issue of masculinity is it's a complex issue. For example, I think if you identify with anything, it's very complicated. Identity means that you're attaching to things, and you can't attach to things that are temporary. So masculinity has to do with being able to sort the permanent from the temporary. So the things that come into our lives that are temporary, they seem to be very acute things that are very interesting. They get your blood pressure up, they get your adrenaline rolling, but they don't last for long. And one of the challenges with not understanding what masculinity is or how to identify with it or to label it, then you don't know how to separate between the temporary and the permanent. So you don't know which direction to go, and you don't know when to stop. And so masculinity is very important because it helps you separate between the temporary and the permanent. You can only attach to the permanent. And when you attach to temporary things, when they're no longer there, you suffer. So masculinity has more to do with discrimination, understanding, having insight, and things like that, and being able to actually stop, shut up, sit down, and not do things. And that's that. And understanding that is what helps keeps you out of the fire.
I want to come to you, OG Mr. Rick. I have to call you all the names every time I call you. Is that if you say yes, that's what I'm going to do, because that's what I'm going to do.
Just say OG. I appreciate it.
Okay, OG. When you think about masculinity, and we see you as you are all the time. I suspect that it's probably how you go to sleep. It's just proper.
That's what they keep saying. I
never
get
seen
that question on a regular.
Never seen you in any other way. But talk about masculinity and what that.
Masculinity for me is responsibility. And the reason that I wrote that book that I gave you, the OG Manifesto, is so that we could have a manuscript on what an OG is and what the responsibilities are and how to become. Because see, Doc just sit here and went through a very good presentation, and underneath that we have to understand that what is the definition of it? We have to redefine it for ourselves because it's different for us. That's why I chose to write the book, so that we can all be on one page. Because see, each one of us right now have a different answer. We need to be able to be on the same page so that our children can have a route to navigate. Where are you going? How do you get there? We can't answer these questions because there's so much craziness in our community, for nice words. And our children get caught up in so many different things because it's like, remember Hansel and Gretel?
Mm-hmm.
They put the crumbs down so that they could get back.
Right.
But something came along and removed the crumbs, and they were lost. That's us. We don't know how to get back, and it's very difficult getting there. So we have to redefine these things, give them definition so that we can have direction. And that's what we need to be doing as mindful human beings.
Let me come to you as well. Kind of similar thought. When you think about masculinity, and you're running Chicago Youth Centers.
Correct. Chicago Youth Programs.
Youth programs. So you're dealing directly in it where it's really important.
Correct.
And in all the things that you do. Talk about masculinity and what that means to you.
So more importantly, masculinity is your position of power. To me, it's leadership. So as I'm working with young men who desire to be successful or who may be looking for where their North Star is, it's important for me as a man to step in and say that, okay, well, this is the framework for becoming that man, right? Identify your gifts. Okay, activate your gift, right? Develop that gift, build that ecosystem around that gift, and then monetize it. So helping them identify who they want to become and then becoming it. Also teaching them the skills and the attributes to do the things that they should do, whether it's fixing cars, whether it's showing up present at church, right? Having that faith base and just becoming that full-fledged, well-rounded individual. So I think our presence as men is important for the younger men to see, because that's why it's called role model. Mm-hmm. If they can see it, then they can be it. So that's truly important. And that's why I'm intentional about my presence at CYP, because by being there, I can be intentional about the programming that I provide for them, right? I can bring in chess so that they can learn how to be strategic in their moves. I can bring in Toastmasters so I can teach them how to speak and conduct themselves in any room. So first you have to become that yourself, right? And then you can duplicate that in them.
And I want to come back to you, OG, because when I think about this whole concept of masculinity, and then we go further into toxic masculinity, like real masculine. And you've been in places, you've been in the streets, you've been incarcerated, you've been here. And when we think about that and considering where we're trying to take these conversations, it also gets into, if we don't have our health, we don't have anything.
You don't have anything.
And so when we start to think about masculinity and the places in which we think about it, talk about how you see that impacting our health and where some of this masculinity may keep us from doing the things that are helpful to us.
Well, it goes back to the definition of the thing. How do we define masculinity? If we misdefine it, mm-hmm. then we become the wrong thing. Mm-hmm. So we have to decide on what the definition is, mm-hmm. so that we can become it. And that's very important, because see, what you just hit on is, how do we get the best performance out of a Rolls Royce? Mm-hmm. Do you put leaded gas in it? How far are you going to make it? Mm-hmm. So we're talking, this is a Rolls Royce. So how do we fine tune it? Mm-hmm. How do we pass that information on? For us, one part of that is, if you can make it to professional sports, that's how you'll do it. No, we need that in our everyday lives, so that our children, because see, when you're physically fit, then you can mentally excel, because the confidence comes with the building of the body. And then when you put the right information in it, then you have a dual situation that's going to prepare you with the correct tools to be successful and have the right conversations with your peers. I can remember growing up and being in the sports at a very young age, and our conversations with my peers was always, well, what did you find out to be the best way to get your physique like this or like that? What are you eating? How long are you sleeping? These were our basic conversations, mm-hmm. and some of our young people are having them now. But we need to put all of that together. What is your spiritual beliefs?
Correct.
like brother said, you know, we have to have the balance here, and we're fragmented.
Indeed, that's OG Mr. Rick you just heard. We're also talking with Dr. Jody Reed and Diamond McNulty from the Chicago Youth Programs. We'll have more talking about masculinity and health and how they impact one another. We'll be back more with these gentlemen right after Ned tells us what's in the news.
.74 degrees. We're headed to a daytime high of 88. Good morning. I'm Annette Flournoy, and here's what's happening. Funeral arrangements have been announced for Spencer Leak Jr. Public visitation and lying in state is set for 4 p.m. Thursday, June 11th at Leak & Sons Funeral Homes at 78th and Cottage Grove. His celebration of life will be held Saturday, June 13th at House of Hope, Chicago. The Leak family says that they are grateful for the outpouring of love and support. Spencer Leak Jr. served at Leak & Sons Funeral Home for more than 45 years. The family has been in business since 1933. Most recently, Spencer himself planned and led from start to finish services for civil rights icon Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr. He was known for his common touch and for helping families that could not afford funeral services. Spencer Leak Jr. was a close friend to WVON. He was 56 years old. Well, a Walgreens in Chatham is closing its doors for good today. Alderman Will Hall of the 6th Ward calls it corporate abandonment and is set to hold a news conference outside the store at 86 and Cottage Grove later today. He'll be joined by community leaders and residents. He's concerned that the closing will leave the neighborhood without a pharmacy, especially impacting seniors who need regular medications. The Deerfield-based company has said their decision to close that location was based partly on a high level of theft and violence compared to other areas. The company says prescriptions will be sent to the next closest Walgreens on 87th and Stony Island. And a week after the mayor's visit to the Vatican, another group of locals are in Rome this week to meet with Chicago-born Pope Leo XIV. Among them is State Treasurer Michael Frericks, who posted a video of him handing the pontiff a check of some lost cash from an old PayPal account in the amount of $8.65. This is just a reminder to check to see if you have any abandoned cash out there. Meanwhile, WVON's president and CEO, Melody Span Cooper, is in Rome meeting with the Pope. Well, that's a look at our news now on 1690 WVON. Traffic and weather up next. WVON News Time, 8:35.
Hey, it's Matt McGill, and the countdown is on to the largest blues festival in America, the Chicago Blues Fest in Millennium Park, Friday, June 5th through the 7th. We're celebrating 55 years of Alligator Records with tributes to Coco Taylor, Lonnie Brooks, Hound Dog Taylor, and Chris Stone Kingfish Ingram. We're celebrating Chicago-style blues with Chicago's own living legend, Billy Branch, Kenny Neal, and Ronnie Baker Brooks. And we'll close out the weekend with a special tribute to Women in Blues featuring Lynn Jordan and the Shivers, and an outstanding performance by the legendary Taj Mahal and the Phantom Blues Band. While you're there, stop by WVON's Juke Joint and meet your favorite WVON personalities. It's 3 days of good blues in Millennium Park. For more info, visit WVON.com/events. Brought to you by Mayor Brandon Johnson and D-Case.
This summer, we're taking our streets back with peace. The faith community of Saint Sabina is calling on the entire city to stand together for the Summer Peace Takeover Friday, June 5th at 7 p.m. Join thousands of Chicagoans for a powerful rally and march for peace featuring special guest, Chicago's own Chance the Rapper. Meet us at Saint Sabina, 1210 West 78th Place, as communities from across the city come together with one message. Enough is enough. Let's uplift our neighborhoods, empower our youth, and show the nation what unity in Chicago looks like. The first 1,000 people will receive free t-shirts. So bring your family, friends, church groups, and neighbors. This isn't just a march, it's a movement. The Summer Peace Takeover, Friday, June 5th at St. Sabina. Peace starts with us. Chicago, be there.
It's D.L. Hughley.
If it weren't for the Black Panthers, American children wouldn't have free breakfast. Now, I don't know many groups that are only bad that feed children. The Klan only gave us Burning Cross. I guess you could warm your breakfast up on one.
Weekdays at 5 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. It's the afternoon show.
Sometimes you have sex and it's holding and it's touching and it's baby and I love you. And sometimes it's that. It's opposite of that. And so I wouldn't take those moments away from him. If they have those moments where they can get grimy, let him have them. But if he wants more moments, like you guys say, all of your advice, cogent, relevant, all that. Kudos to you guys. But let that man have that.
It's the afternoon show, weekdays at 3 on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. Maria Pappas with Black Houses Matter.
We're up to way over 400 million here. Yeah, giving money back. How about that? People in Bellwood got 10 million, Broadview 6 million, Burnham 3 million, South Holland 17 million. The city of Chicago's up to $190 million that we have given back to African Americans. Who does that? Nobody does that but WVON.
Cook County Treasurer Maria Pappas with Black Houses Matter, Monday mornings at 11:30 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This report is sponsored to you by Summit Racing Equipment. Rev up Father's Day gift giving at summitracing.com. You'll find unique gifts, parts, tools, accessories, and more. I give the perfect card, a Summit Racing gift card. Shop summitracing.com plus enroll in the rewards program to get more power in every purchase.
WVON traffic and weather now.
As more cars start to arrive downtown, we're seeing just a slight improvement in your travel time on the inbound Ryan. You're down to 25 minutes from 95th Street into downtown. Getting to the Ryan along the Bishop Fort and Tuskegee Air Memorial, still just about a 17-minute trip. If we're on DuSable Lakeshore Drive, you're still looking at 67 minutes. We're looking at, 18 minutes from 67th Street to Jackson. Hollywood to Monroe, a 17-minute trip. If we're on the Stevenson, just about 50 still from I-355 to DuSable Drive 40 traveling out. The inbound Eisenhower still dealing with a couple earlier accidents affecting your travel time. That accident off to the right shoulder of Central, another on the exit ran at Independence, making that inbound trip 55 minutes from Thorndale to the Burns Circle, outbound just about 50 as well. If you're on the Kennedy, expect 45 minutes from O'Hare to downtown, still just about a 45-minute trip to the airport. Taking a look at our weather, we're going to flirt with 90 today. We're looking at an official daytime high of 88. The National Weather Service says 60 is our low tonight. Still holding steady at 74 at Midway, is 74 in Greater Grand Crossing, and 74 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Keep your eyes on the road and both hands on the steering wheel. We will not be held responsible for any accidents. It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Gonna keep moving, gonna fall it down. I'm gonna get down. There's only three things that can show. Texas, death, and trouble.
Welcome back. I'm in the studio this morning with three wonderful gentlemen. I'm here with OG Mr. Rick, Dr. Jody Reed, and Diamond McNulty. We're talking about issues of masculinity and how that affects health choices. And as we went to the break, OG Mr. Rick, we need to just clarify this right here.
Yes.
Because people think about OG, and just hearing that gives different connotations of it. But you're very clear with what OG means.
For me.
For you.
Yes.
And should be for everybody, which is kind of why you're here.
Yes.
What does OG mean?
OG is the original gentleman.
Gentleman.
/ ladies. Every gentleman should have a lady. But our goal in life should be gentlemen, to be a gentleman. Wow. Because, see, that's bigger than a gangster or whatever it is. The ultimate goal, the king sits on a throne. His goal is to exemplify a gentleman. And see, when we can gravitate toward that and we properly define it life changes.
Yes.
You know, then you have to get the tools and you have to have the discipline in order to represent the gentleman. And it's a mindset, you know. A gentleman, you dress how you want. This is how I choose to dress. Because when I was coming up, the gentleman looked like this. I never put that down.
Yeah.
Can we get back to that? Can we get back to a way in which we do pride ourselves on how we look? Because somewhere along the way, it went out of kilter.
I remember when it died. It started with grunge.
Yep.
So we, you know, when I was in school, they taught me that you're empowered by how you look. So I went into the military at the age of 18 and I was shipped overseas in Europe. And I got to experience that world. But when I was here in America before all of that, back in the early 70s, the late 60s, we wore tailor-made clothes.
Maids.
Thank you. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
So that was a whole nother mindset in itself. And then when I took that and went to Europe and began to learn the quality of life, I took that tailor-made situation and put them together and began to experiment with that until I could create my own identity. And see, the power of that was I had to match the character with the identity. You just can't be dressed a certain way and just be a thug. It doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
You have to be the message.
It's in conflict.
Yes,
Direct
this is a message, and you have to be it.
Correct.
Simple.
You know, thinking about how things are perceived and seen and what that then does. You grew up in Cabrini Green.
Correct.
And people have a sense of Cabrini Green, not from good times, but from everything else that they've read and otherwise understood. But you went there, you grew up there, and obviously were able to overcome whatever people might have perceived that to be. Talk about what some of the masculine norms were that you would have experienced when you were growing up, how you manage those, and how you see that then and now in the work that you do, helping stay healthy and become more healthy.
You know, that's why I say I'm so thankful and I'm so appreciative of my journey, because starting in Cabrini, it was more ego, right? Bravado. Everyone's trying to become number one, right? And that's where we have all of the gangs and everyone trying to fight against each other. It's all bravado. However, by being able to remove myself from that environment, it periods in my life. Like even though I was in the projects, my aunt lived in the suburbs. So she would come and pick us up and take us out there. And I was able to see what that life looked like.
Thank
right?
you.
I had exposure points. I had doctors and lawyers who were my mentors because I was a part of Chicago youth programs at that time, full circle. And they took me downtown. They took me to their offices. They took me to their condos, and I can overlook the city and I can see what that looked like. So that access and that exposure really changed my life. And then going down the culinary path, I had to learn nutrition, and nutrition is important. Everything you do in your life, you have to measure, right? If you don't measure it, it doesn't matter, right? So nowadays, kids are probably Uber eating, right? Everyone's ordering or eating processed foods, but nutrition plays a big part, right? It plays a big part in with your hormones. It plays a part in so many areas. So just teaching and learning how to cook and getting from that environment, removing myself, learning how to cook allowed me to know that my body is a temple, how to take care of myself.
Thank you.
Exercising, right?
And
then having those role models, it was a framework that positioned you for success. So I'm just so thankful when I look back over the time, and which is why I've always held on to Chicago youth programs.
You know, so we knew this time was going to go fast, and it is. I've only got one more segment. I do want to say this before we go, because so often it's been true that people will look and be surprised at who you are and where you've come from. And how could that have happened?
Correct.
And the fact of the matter is, it happens.
It happens.
And these are the things that you've talked about, and seeing what you can be, or even imagining what is possible, which makes this so powerful.
Imagine.
And I hope that people can see and really appreciate that. And particularly, y'all want to come back after this break and talk about what your life has been and what the masculinity may have been that you've seen, because now you're in the process of helping folks be healthy in some way or another. And I want to get deeper into that. So, but before we do that, we got to take our final break. But before I take my break, I told you earlier when we were talking with Diamond Dixon and Billy Branch, and we're going to give away some tickets. Well, now would be that time. If you are my, give me a number.
39.
That's too high. Okay, 39 divided. Okay, if you're number 3, I like that number.
Okay.
Give me a number.
7.
Okay, 7. Number 3 and number 7 callers right now, 773-591-1690. You can win a pair of tickets for Sunday, June 7th in Millennium Park, featuring Taj Mahal and the Phantom Blues Band. Wow. Caller number 3, caller number 7, 773-591-1690. You win the tickets. We'll be back with more of these gentlemen right after this.
More of the morning show with Rufus Williams coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Calling all nonprofit service providers. If you are an executive director, CEO, or development or program director of a local area nonprofit, this one's for you. Meeting the Moment is hosting its first webinar, Big Bill, Big Impact. What funders need to hear from you to avoid service disruption. Taking place Wednesday, June 10th from 11 a.m. until noon. This virtual session will offer participants direct insight into how funding decisions are being shaped and the critical role communication plays in influencing your outcome. We are convening leaders across government, philanthropy, and research to discuss funding priorities, frontline fundraising realities, and how you should be communicating to keep those resources flowing. Hear from Illinois Congresswoman Delia Ramirez, researcher Xavier Ramey from Justice Informed, Monique Jones, CEO of Forefront, activist and former CEO of the Knight Foundation, Sol Flores, and Chanel Ritchie of LL Communications. It's an action-packed hour of information that will help you navigate this critical time for nonprofits and provide you with tools you need while managing a changing financial landscape. Our Big Bill, Big Impact webinar is free, but you must register at eventbrite.com. For more information about the Meeting the Moment movement, log on to wvon.com/Meeting the Moment. Meeting the Moment is powered by the Chicago Community Trust.
Yo, fellas, when was the last time you checked in with you? We're bringing the barbershop talk to the airwaves. It's time to get real about our wellness, identity, and what it means to feel good from the inside out. The Grooming Room is back, a no-fluff radio series made for the fellas, by the fellas. We're talking health, hustle, healing, and everything in between. No filters, no judgment. Real conversations that hit home, whether you're grinding, growing, or just trying to figure it all out. This space is for you. Listen weekly on Thursdays from June 4th to June 26th. It will be hosted by Matt McGill, Atiba Buchanan, and Rufus Williams. Only on the station that brings you what's now and what's next. 1690 WVON, the Grooming Room, where the real ones pull up.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-345-2789. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems. And if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-345-2789. That's 800-345-2789 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-345-2789.
Hi, I'm attorney Ernesto Borges. I'd like to invite you to join me for the Borges Report for lively discussions about legal matters, politics, government, entertainment, and the topics that concern you in your life. Start your Sunday the Borges way with the Borges Report.
The Borges Report with Ernesto Borges, Sunday mornings at 9 on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This report is brought to you by Discover. When you hear a good idea, it's natural to do a double take. That's what you might do when you hear Discover will automatically double all the cash back you've earned on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cash Back Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
This is Rufus Williams, and I've got something special for you. I am proud to announce that we're launching the Rufus Williams Travel Club in conjunction with Advantage International. Our first trip, we're staying in the United States and heading to one of the most stunning destinations for culture to cuisine. Join us October 8th through 12th as we explore the charm, the beauty, and the history of Charleston, South Carolina. This isn't your typical getaway. We're walking through history and standing where our stories began. From the roots of Gullah Geechee culture to the International African American Museum, from cobblestone streets to waterfront views. This is more than a trip. It's a cultural vibe. To find out more, visit WVON.com and click the Rufus Williams Travel Club banner. And keep listening for more details. The Rufus Williams Travel Club will turn curiosity into understanding, one destination at a time. We are WVON.
WVON traffic and weather now.
We're going to start out with DuSable Lakeshore Drive. That trip from 67th Street to Jackson just bumped up to 19 minutes. Slow approaching Soldier Field and stop and go to Monroe. As you make your way from Hollywood to Monroe, now an 18-minute trip, slow approaching Fullerton. The inbound side of the Ryan, still that 25-minute trip from O'Hare to downtown. Getting to the Ryan on both the Bishop Ford and Tuskegee Airmen Memorial will take you just about 17 minutes. No changes on the Stevenson, steady at 50 minutes in from I-355 to DuSable Drive 40 traveling out. You're still looking at just about a 55-minute trip along the Eisenhower from Thorndale to the Burns Circle. That outbound trip now 52. And if you're on the Kennedy, give yourself 47 minutes in from O'Hare to downtown, a 45-minute trip to the airport. Taking a look at our weather, the National Weather Service says we're going to flirt with 90 today with a daytime high of 88, a low tonight of 60. Right now, we're up to 75 degrees at O'Hare. It's 75 in South Shore and 75 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm in Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
If you're not out of the bed yet, then what are you waiting for? It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on 1690 WVON.
Look, this is dedication. This is anti-hesitation. This is real in the celebration. It's a dime block declaration. 59th and 5th Ave, granny house with vanilla wafers. It's the remedy to separation. Tupac of my generation. Blue pill in the open matrix. Red rose in the great pavement. Young black nigga trapped and he can't change it. Know he a genius, he just can't claim it. Cause they left him no platforms to explain it. Frustrated, so we get faded.
Welcome back. We are, time just flies as we sit here and do this. This is the Grooming Room. We're talking with Diamond McNulty. He's the president of Chicago Youth Programs and an accomplished author and chef. Dr. Jody Reed and OG Mr. Rick, who, if you don't know, now you know.
Okay.
He does his thing here on Thursdays at 9 o'clock. Which means you've got a show coming up tonight.
Tonight with Mike Epps.
Mike Epps.
So you want to tune in to that. Me and Mike Epps have been friends for a long time, 25 plus years. We're finna do some things together in the business world, in this industry, that's just going to change the game. So you would definitely want to tune in tonight. That's from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock. So Mike will come on at 10 and you don't want to miss it. So tune in because it's going to be a great show. That's WVON. And you'll be able to call in, as I say, just like my brother says, 773-591-1690. Call in and let's talk.
Let's do it. I want to come back before we get out of here and talk with you, Dr. Reed, because your circumstances were unique, maybe, in growing up, but you've been able to overcome a lot of things and come to where you are. Talk about that. Talk about masculinity. And particularly as we think about all these things, we talked some about stress during the break. But talk about that in health and pull that together for us.
Growing up on the South Side of Chicago in DCFS, I think I got a really good perspective. So it's
Yeah, you did.
interesting. We're
least.
3 different African American men in 3 different generations.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And we have like 3 completely different interpretations of masculinity, right? And what's interesting is I thought that my interpretation was
okay.
The
as much as I've been through.
Okay.
You mean to tell me
I can hit the
I'm
nail
learning
on
from
the
you?
head.
And then he's younger than I, right? And your input is so valid, So I think this masculinity isn't anything that you can do. It's certainly not force, correct? Right? So it's very hard to describe because you guys,
Very
I
true.
thought I knew what it was until I came here. But I don't think it's force. I don't think expanding your will or your beliefs onto anyone else. If I have to describe it, it's more inactivity. It's it's limits, it's boundaries. So I will not do that. Hey, absolutely not. No.
Exactly.
I think that's what masculinity is.
That's
And
the
I think
biggest
that's
part of it. That's
the
strength.
hard part of it. And so it's sort of like it's like limit setting.
Thank you.
And I think it has more to do with the presence.
Correct.
Masculinity is your presence. I think
Thank you.
women certainly feel it when they walk in the room.
Hello.
Right?
Definitely.
So I think it has more to do with those 2 things.
Definitely.
And I think that for us going through these experiences on the South Side of Chicago, I think it's our ability to say no. I mean, I think we are more masculine than the men who got caught up. Right? I don't think just because you went to jail or you hurt someone that you are masculine.
No.
That's an unstable affect. That's mood problems. That's perceptual difficulties,
Right.
impulse control issues. But it's not masculinity. Right? I think you said no to how many things?
So many.
Right. And it led you to here. So I think
And
that's
still
what it
saying
is.
no.
Oh,
Yeah.
And figuring out the right
Doesn't
things to
stop.
say yes to.
correct.
Okay.
And so, this is one of these kind of conversations. This is why it's the grooming room. When you go to the barbershop, you just throw it out there and sit back and listen. And you learn so much from that process. I have done it in so many different occasions
Wow.
just to learn and just to pick up. And so to have the 3 of you here with those different perspectives, bringing in some real positivity to where we are, who we are, and who we can be is so critical. So I'm
And
so
how
grateful.
we become.
And how we become.
Yeah.
Critical and grateful to each of you for coming on and joining us for this conversation.
Love to come
which
back.
will, when you will. Well, look, you'll be back tonight.
For real.
You'll be right back. in
Yes,
fact.
sir.
But I'm grateful to have you all here on the Rufus Williams Show. And thank you for what you do and continued success
Thank
to
you,
each
brother.
of you.
Thank
and
you.
to
Thank
each of you. Annette, as always, we appreciate you for giving us all that you do to get us through the day. And I got something else I'm supposed to do before I go. And I certainly appreciate you for all that you do to make these things happen. And I don't see my thing for Father Flager. However, I can tell you that Father Flager is my man. And he's got a big event that's happening this weekend. His Summer Peace Takeover Rally and March is happening on the 5th at 7 p.m. Want to meet them there, 1210 West 78th Place. Free t-shirts for the first, look, we're expecting a bunch of folks there. Free t-shirts for the first 1,000 people. Special guest, none other than Chance the Rapper. So you want to be there with Father Flager. Father Flager, man, love that dude. He is, anyway, he's my guy. Before we go.
The 21st of this month, Father Flager will be here with me at 10 p.m.
So you got everybody coming.
Hey,
check out OG Mr. Rick. But look, for tomorrow, make sure you check me out. I will be back. It's Friday, which means it's the 411 with me and Candace McCollum. And the new entrant into the mayor's race, Susanna Mendoza. We'll see what she's up to. She'll join me tomorrow morning as well. So again, Annette, thank you for everything that you do to give us the information that gets us through the day. So I just appreciate you for keeping all these things together as you do finally every single day. And ladies and gentlemen, I ask you as I do, as you go through the course of the day, you will come across people who are dealing with things that you know absolutely nothing about. So please be kind, always. And with that, Annette, tell us what's in the headlines, and T-Dub, take us home.
Pleasant and warmer today as temps climb into the upper 80s on this Thursday. June 4th, 2026, I'm in Illinois, and in the headlines, funeral arrangements have been announced for Spencer Leak Jr., a pillar of the community and important business leader who died last weekend. He was